just means you got to stay up and hop in the game and participate.
That's negative. I have to work tomorrow. Although I don't have to work for Jeff's game, so I'll be there for Jeff's game tomorrow. Unless Jeff's house decides it wants to try to commit Sudoku again.
Yeah. No
Sudoku?
Bueno.
Yep, I said that ironically.
No bueno.
You hurt my heart there a bit.
Yep.
Oh.
Tomorrow's the one shot.
Yes, it is.
You better hope I'm home.
I fucking hope you're home. You're very integral.
Tomorrow's my weekend with my son, so I gotta go pick him up tomorrow.
We will delay until you are home. Because you are integral. I think
You're
Bree
integral
is
to
all.
tonight's game, so you need to stay up.
What's that?
I said he's integral to tonight's game, so he has to stay up.
Who is? Me? No, fuck you. Bye.
Something, dick tugging.
Pretty much. That's what I heard.
Dick tugging.
Lord.
Okay. Well, if we're getting it, we're getting it.
Anyways. Good, I guess.
Hi, Cody. Get out of the channel.
Sleep.
Nah.
Sleepy sleeps.
Yeah, let me just. Oh, hang on. Fuck you, Tyler. I didn't disconnect him either.
Did you just move him?
Yep.
Yeah.
Bye.
That again, I fucking dare you.
Cast sleep.
Oh, I'll just boot him from the fucking channel. Or from the fucking server.
I can't sleep.
Anyways. Welcome back, everybody, to another adventure in Orland. To cover and recap from last week, our party is in Shadows Bay at the current moment. They have made it back to the inn after having a lovely little meeting at the Thieves Guild. They have secured information regarding the missing trader that they have been sent to find. They've also secured safe passage back to their ship to return to the mainland, should things go south. We have with us Mr. Serb, Mr. Tormy, and Mr. Fenris, as well as the wonderful Jeb, who is debuting his new character.
What up?
As I said, you all are currently at the inn, resting and preparing. Where do you go from here?
I think we said that we were going to go to the guy, right?
We have the location, and we have several options as to where we're going. So I think we agreed upon the back alleyway to the building, and then sewers to the Thieves Guild on our way out.
Yep.
We can always backtrack if that doesn't happen to work out.
Very true.
All right. So, as everyone is getting ready to go about their journey, you all wander your way down out of the inn, and you're wandering the city until what you figure is the opportune time to start moving. You're only about a block away from your intended entrance into Slaver's Alley. And as you're, milling about, there happens to be a random street side stall yelling about, "You come grab some food, da 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 da. I've got this, I've got that. Who would like some?" And as you can hear this man yelling, you hear an attendant at the cart speaking to a rather, I want to say, boisterous dwarf who happens to be purchasing some tacos. And he is arguing back and forth on the price, as the man had asked for 20 copper for 6 tacos. And he keeps haggling over the price. And this is where we introduce Dane Firebrand, or Firebeard. Might have misread it. I'm sorry.
Oi, you call these tacos? I could get better tacos from the butcher up the street.
You want them or not, you pay for them. 20 copper. Hand over the coin and you'll get your food.
Absolutely outrageous. Absolutely outrageous. What's in these to deserve them being 20 copper?
The only thing outrageous here is your height, short one.
And with that, you see his green eyes kind of glow fire. And he points a finger at the stall keep's chest and says, "You'll sell them to me for 10 copper and not a copper more, or there'll be hell to pay."
As you point, the vendor just kind of looks at him as he's pointing his finger and he goes, "All right, for that little display of, whatever that was, 30 now."
He opens up his hand, and the shopkeep sees a ball of fire just blaze up. "Are you sure that's the route you want to go?"
Stares him down. "You're not the first to threaten me with magic, son. And you'll by far be the last. Not afraid of you, nor what your, small stature might be able to do. 40 copper."
While this is going on, the rest of the party can see the dwarf's left hand down below the stall counter, where the shopkeep can't see, and they can see his hand kind of moving around, and they see a spectral floating hand sliding around the side of the stall out of the sight of the shopkeep as the hand snatches 3 tacos off the counter. Keep raising the price, and you won't have any wares to sell. See how many people like eating charcoal.
As your spectral hand decides to steal from him, the shopkeep just raises his voice to him ever so slightly. But what everyone else hears is this booming echo of, all right then, 50 copper. And as he says that, a couple of the surrounding businesses' windows shatter, and he immediately pulls a sword and levels at you and says, I've got magic too, you half pint. But
is watching this.
Steel, and I'm not afraid to wet it with dwarven blood. What were you gonna say, Fenris?
And Thorin's been watching this. Can't tell if he wants to laugh or wants to step in, but he's as soon as like as soon
Junker
as
gives
shit starts to get real, he's
Junker
what's next?
nudges Thorin.
What's up?
It's not all that smart of him to keep raising the price when he just had to. He's gonna have to replace all those windows.
Of course. I gotta work all back.
As his mage hand swipes the tacos off the side counter, he gets him down below and out of the eyesight of the shopkeep. He lets the firebolt in his hand dissipate.
Thank you for calling
Raises-
assistance. This is
He raises his hand and is like, all right, fine.
There we go.
Have it your way. And he begins walking down the alley towards the party.
Okay.
Once he gets out of eyesight, of the shopkeep, the mage hand brings the 3 tacos up to him.
Okay.
Is it gonna work this time?
Is what gonna work?
My fucking Discord.
I hope.
That's the second time I've lost connection.
Uh-oh.
All right, so what did I miss after the whole? It basically cut out a
Disengaged.
They disengaged.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it saves me a spell slot.
All right.
You now see the dwarf walking down the alley towards you, munching on his tacos that he got with his mage hand.
Pretty interesting show there.
I believe
he-
he was talking to the dwarf.
As he finishes chewing the food that he had in his mouth, his eyes come up, spots the group, sees the one that spoke to him, and kind of nods his head. Food prices here are outrageous. Don't let them steal from you.
Oh, I don't have any need for them to steal from me. If I wanted food, I could always pretty handy ourselves. We always prepared ourselves if we needed to. But I doubt anybody would try anything stupid. At least once they knew better.
You would be surprised. This is Shadows Bay, after all.
Yeah.
All right, what did I miss?
Not much.
They disengaged and were being talked with the dwarf. That's all.
As you guys are, conversing, the sun is starting to set. You can see the entrance of where you're needing to go just up ahead. And I leave it to you, my players, to continue from here.
Seems like the sun's getting mighty low.
Did you really expect us to do this during the day?
Just slowly turns his face to look at you.
Just that look of, no, I expected us to do it during the fucking end of the world.
Just the was not talking about the time of the day. Was talking about it getting late and us needing to move through. At all.
Oh yeah, that we should do.
Nope. We lost Fenris, oh no.
He'll be back.
Hopefully he doesn't have to uninstall and reinstall.
Not like last night. So
Shit.
the one
So you
that was
guys-
directly engaging you is currently wrestling with Discord.
Yep. So you guys move on, correct? Or are you staying to engage the fiery dwarf? Hey, you're back.
This.
Seriously.
So are you staying to engage with the fiery dwarf, or are you moving on?
It is about time for us to get passing through. So unless you're planning on having him hitch a ride with us, what's your plan with talking to the hot-headed one here? Other than entertainment.
Well, entertainment was where it started, but he seems quite skilled. We could always use the extra hand.
Depends if he's in the market.
Are you in the market?
Depends on what the market is, I guess. If the
We're
if the market is anything that can help me get off this damned island, absolutely.
well, then I propose this to you. Join up with us. We usually split all whatever we come across. And we're currently on a job, and by the time we're done with it, we have safe passage off this side, off this rock.
That would suit me rather well. I've been stuck on this island for close to a year. Haven't been able to book passage off the island since I don't have the right, how do you say, friends in the neighborhood.
Well, would you look at that? New friends mean new opportunity.
We should probably go.
And you can calm yourself. It'll be okay.
We're about to head into this, so if you're raring to go with tacos and stomach, then join up. Otherwise, we can.
Thorin will extend a hand.
The dwarf takes the hand. Dane Firebeard, at your service.
Did he just say Firebush?
He
Higher, higher.
Drakery,
Beers, not a bush.
Drakery sees the glint of fire in the green eyes of the dwarf. Would you like to find out?
I apparently
Kinky.
just missed something because I have not heard shit.
Drakery said, "Did he just say Firebush?" And
Right, but
Dane,
what was the in what context? Because I didn't
beard.
hear.
Firebeard, his last name Firebeard.
I
He
have.
said, "Did he just say Firebush?"
I didn't hear him introduce himself.
He
Ah.
didn't.
He said he took that not Thenris,
Thorin.
he took Thorin's hand and said, "Dane Firebeard at your service."
Okay.
Then Drakery said, "Did he just say Firebush?" And Dane replied back, "Would you like to find out?"
Kinky. It's
Thorin
not that
Longfang.
kind of game, though.
We don't have time to find out if the carpet matches the drapes. Nice to meet you. Name's Junker. We'll get into it.
You can fill me in on the way.
Good. All right.
All right, so the sun is setting. About 300 feet in front of you is the alleyway you need to take. As you're walking, Thorin and Drac both hear a kind of woo. And if you glance up on the roof, you can see your friends. Let's call them from the Thieves Guild, keeping an eye. As you get there and enter the alley, there are a couple people at the end of it milling about, doing what you can only assume is a trade-off of some sort. And when they see you all enter the alleyway, they run away. They dart.
I start scratching at my arms.
Okay.
You okay there?
Better for them to have something to look at from this distance. Looks like I need a fix, doesn't it?
You get about 35 feet into the alley. And you come across what looks to be an obviously fake wall. What are you doing?
Opening it.
Okay.
Going to the wall straight across and checking if it's fake too.
Suddenly the whole city just disappears.
Falls over in cardboard cutouts.
Exactly.
And you wake up in the gateway.
Dun dun dun.
Not everything can end up there. I mean, it can, but
All right, so you're opening the fake wall. That's all you're doing?
I think he was serious about checking the opposite wall to see if it was fake too.
Oh, okay. Roll me investigation, Dormy.
this is a thing I'm not bad at. But with a nat 1, that doesn't fucking matter. It's a 10
Okay.
total.
It feels like a wall.
I glance over at it.
That's a wall. It's a good wall. As you... Hey. Crackery, as you're looking at it, you can tell it's an actual wall. It's part of a building. Hey. But, as you open / move the fake wall, see it opens up to a smaller alley. This alleyway is small enough that you all have to kind of go single file. And it extends for about another 500 feet.
Okay.
So what's the order you all are going in?
Well,
Jane's probably going to be in the back.
Probably better if I'm in the front.
Okay.
So
then I'll go directly behind him at the junker at my back.
Yep.
So with Dane bringing up the rear?
Yeah.
Okay. As you all enter the alley, you can tell it's, kind of snug. Like, going single file was definitely the right choice, as the walls on either side of you are essentially brushing up against your arm. There's enough room for you guys to move about just enough to keep walking, but not to freely move your arms and, like swing a weapon or anything. As you're walking down it, Drackery, you take about another 3 steps and you're all about halfway down the alleyway. But you take about another 3 steps and you hear the familiar whistle of arrows flying. And as you're looking forward, you can see extending towards you from the end of the alley where you guys are, arrows shooting between the walls. What are you all doing?
Quick question.
Yes.
How wide, since we are a single file, how wide is this hallway?
Like I said, it's only about as wide, or it's only about wide enough for you guys to kind of move your arms, but not
So-
like wide
3 or 4
enough to where
feet.
you could easily swing a weapon.
So about 5 feet wide.
Yeah, about. Yeah.
Being that it's underground, I'm going to assume that it's damp inside.
Well, it's not underground. You are actually still above ground in the city. You're just in a hidden alleyway.
We're planning
Okay.
on going underground on the way back.
So then, is there any kind of precipitation, any kind of water, or
Not
anything in
really.
there?
Not really. It is rather dry. Kind of smelly though.
Zachary.
Are arrows coming at us, or are
Or-
they just going between the two walls, like
They're
firing out
going
of one
between the
wall?
two walls, and it looks like it's advancing toward you. Think of a random, like, arrow trap shooting from the wall to whoever might be passing by without paying attention.
And I didn't see. I didn't see a trigger.
There was no trigger. As you got closer to it, it's a thing that's just constantly active.
And are these standard arrows?
Essentially, yeah.
Does everybody see it, or just Drackery?
Drackery sees it first, but I mean, you all kind of see it as soon as you get close enough.
As soon as I see it, I'll let everybody know through the mental link. Oh wait,
Anybody?
Jeb doesn't have the mental link with us, does he?
Correct.
Nope.
Well,
But
he still does it that way because he doesn't think about that.
everybody sees it though, and he, he would see the arrows.
Yeah.
Does
So
anybody have any tower shields?
Dane hollers, "Everybody hit the deck!"
Okay.
Got it.
I'll duck.
Are you ducking as well, Serb?
Yeah.
Everyone in front of you has ducked.
Dane launches a firebolt at the arrows.
As you loose this spell and it tears through the air, it takes out the wall of arrows, and then once you see it kind of dissipate, you see that there are still arrows fired. But instead of the front to back repetition, it's now literally at the end of the alleyway, just shooting back and forth between the walls.
There any like wide pieces of wood laying about?
wide pieces of wood. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Wait a
Like,
second.
oh,
No,
Somebody
No.
grab me that false wall.
hang on. Exactly. That's exactly. As soon as you said that, that's where I went. Get the false wall. Use it to cover the arrows.
Okay. So that's what you're doing?
Yeah.
Who's got the wall?
Definitely not Dane.
I'll get it.
or Junker.
Okay.
Had a stupid thought that I love.
So you go up and over Drackery Thorin with the false wall in hand. And as you're carrying it, you can hear it scraping either side of the wall. You
Mhm.
go, plant it in front of where the arrows are firing, and I need a. Let's see. What do I need?
Another drink.
I would like.
To rage. I'm not helping.
I would like an athletics check.
Okay. What's the athletics check for?
Just to see if you can avoid getting hit. Like, if you are hit, you're not going to necessarily take damage, but you're also basically doing a gymnastics routine to get to where these arrows are firing from and stop them.
Okay, so I'm kind of confused. Are the arrows
Maybe
coming
I
from
can
the end of the hall at
No.
us?
Indiana Jones arrows.
wall to wall across.
Yeah.
So he
Okay.
should just be able to slide up next to it and push the board in front of it without actually being in front of the arrows firing.
That helps if they're only coming from one side.
True.
Exactly.
Okay. I was confused. I was trying to get a visual, and I'm like, what the hell?
It's all good, buddy.
That is a 18.
You are able to slide this wall in front of where these arrows are firing from. And as you manage to do so, one arrow just kind of thunk into the false wall right. You feel it graze right past your ear as it
Okay.
embeds itself. But as you're sliding the wall into place, they stop.
Good.
They're now at the end of this alleyway. And as you emerge on the other side, you see this city quarter is filled with people milling about, looking at cages upon cages of captured elves, kobolds, lizardmen, dwarves,
Tyler,
dragonborns. Yeah, what's up?
how big is this area we just came into?
It's about the size of Times Square in New York.
Damn. Okay. I'm gonna lean back to Junker.
Hmm.
You got any way to make these on my back not stand out quite so much?
Oh yeah, the
He-
wings.
Let me take a think.
Drakri reaches into his bag of holding, pulls out a blanket and throws it to him.
Either
Have-
that or I've only got two other options. One's hiding in my coat, and the other is I boop your snoot and make you invisible.
Do the invisibility.
As
I
like
have.
boop the snoot, boop the snoot.
That actually has.
He jokes about booping the snoot, but he actually pulls out a spray bottle and sprays you a couple of times, and as the mist falls on you, you just slowly dissipate into invisibility.
As the mist falls on Thorin and he sees him disappear, all of a sudden they all see Thorin kind of start sniffing the air. Why does it smell like wet dog?
Thorin starts sniffing the air, or Dane does.
Dane starts sniffing the air. Why does it smell like wet dog?
Right.
Dane hears in his ear. This party's full of surprises.
Dun dun dun. As you guys are emerging on the other side, like I said, you're seeing cages galore of just different species. And you see people standing next to them and then standing in front of them as they're haggling over prices and things like that. And as you walk forward a couple more feet, there's actually a cage in front of you with what looks to be a human inside, facing the other direction. His clothes are kind of ragged, torn, but other than that, it looks like he hasn't been inside this cage long. He has a collar around his neck. And if you look closely enough, you can actually see the collar has etchings on it, written in primordial. That, for anyone who can translate, simply read out slave. He's just holding on to the bars, begging anybody who will listen to aid him, to help him get out, promising to pay whatever it is they ask.
Hey, Junker,
Hey?
you should light things up a bit.
How bright? A candle or
No, for yourself only.
Hmm. He just kind of adjusts the goggles that he's pulled down over his eyes and takes the time to cast detect magic.
you cast detect magic, I need a Constitution save.
Yep.
I'm also curious to know what other kind of creatures are around in cages.
Constitution save.
Well, I know Drakery and
Well,
Dean
how about
both have
that shit?
fairly large passive investigation scores, so
I've got a
Fuck me.
32 passive perception, so
That's a 30 for the.
Nice.
I rolled a 19.
Nice. You're kind of used to it. But once you cast detect magic, like I said, you're kind of used to just the onslaught of everything lighting up. Most of what you see are the glowing around the necks of all of these creatures. The dragonborn, the lizard folk, the elves, dwarves, and a couple kobolds here and there. But you see the lighting up around their necks of their collars. And you can tell that they are magically infused to keep them from essentially running away.
So is everything that we're seeing here all like humanoid types?
Yes. However, there are also a few bugbears, in one cage, you see what looks to be a very, very young dragon. But you're not close enough that without moving up closer to it, you can't really be sure. And Tormy, like I said, you're kind of used to the feeling, but that little pinprick of magic that you were seeing at the inn the other day is no longer tiny. It is massive, in your face, just like you're getting smacked by an ocean wave.
Kind of rocks back on his heels a little bit, goes to stretch, and then kind of goes back to scratching at his arm. Ooh. It's gonna. Yep. Think I'm gonna take a lap.
You gonna take a nap?
A lap.
Oh, a lap.
He's going to kind of like continue scratching at his one arm lightly enough to make it look like he's itching for something, and then he's going to slowly take the longest route possible to check each of them for if this is the closest, if this is the origin point, or if this is the origin point. And if he happens to pass by the dragon, he's going to kind of just stop and start whispering in Draconic.
Give me.
I am also going to be on Junker's heels. Invisible.
Okay. Junker, give me perception.
Perception. That is a 21.
You said a 21?
Yeah.
Okay. As you are, doing your little lap, facts come across or come close enough to the dragon that you could get up to the cage to take a look. And you see that indeed it is a very, very young dragon, as if it had just been hatched all of maybe a year and a half ago.
I want to buy the baby dragon.
Get out of my head.
You said bye. That's cute. Um,
I mean, we could steal it, but that's not really my wheelhouse.
So
do you honestly think we're getting out of here without fucking something up here?
So,
Oh.
what are you whispering
Oh.
to the dragon in Draconic?
Hello, wee one.
It just kind of snaps its head up, looks at you, and lets out. Are you okay there, Jeb?
Yes, that was my dog getting the happy feet, wanting to go outside.
Oh, okay. All I heard was static. Anyways,
That was her nails clicking on the floor.
got it. Anyways, it just kind of snaps its head up, and its eyes immediately lock on you, Junker. And it just, in a very low, guttural sound, parses out a sentence of, "Who are you?" essentially. But it's broken and sounds as if this dragon has not yet learned how to speak.
You see, wee one, I'm here to help. I'm not going to let you be stuck like this.
It just kind of looks at you and cocks its head a little bit. And before it can reply, the creature next to it, which could only be described as this grossly overweight human, adorned in just gaudy jewelry, and looks at you and says, "I see you've seen my prized pet. For 30,000 platinum, it can be yours."
Real quick, before we go on any any farther, sir, did Drackery say something about we could steal it out loud, or was that you just talking over the table?
Earrings?
I said that I wanted to buy it.
Right. Then after that, you said, "Well, we could steal it, but it's not really in my wheelhouse."
Oh yeah, that was that.
I just trying to figure out if that was in character
Fair.
or over the table.
That was in character. But that most likely would have been said through our mental link. So you probably not would have heard that.
Okay.
Right
But
yeah.
he did say he wanted to buy it out loud.
Currently, we're perusing, but your This little one has definitely caught my eye.
See, I see. Well, if you don't find anything else you like, feel free to stop on by. And like I said, 30,000 platinum's quite a steal for this young thing. Only about a year old. A nice sapphire dragon.
Over the table, I really wish that I was on Zeos at this moment, because that dealer would not have any money, and that dragon would be ours.
I mean, I'm technically invisible, and I've been thinking about it. I am standing literally right fucking there.
The only problem is there's a cage between you and it.
I'm talking about
And
the money
right.
issue.
Ah,
Oh, we're up that full blind, man.
Well, I mean,
Hey,
yeah.
hey, Ty.
Yeah.
Dane's gonna work his way around to the side,
Okay.
and then I need the guy to make a wisdom save.
Okay. Give me just a sec here. Uh, you said wisdom?
oh, do I want to be that stupid?
Well, he got a 3, so.
Okay. So Dane then walks up to the guy, and he just kind of eyes the dragon, looks up to the guy. He's like, "You're right. That is such a beautiful, beautiful creature. However, you do know that eventually those things get very large and very intelligent and very ruthless. I would highly suggest that you allow us to take that creature off your hands for you before any harm comes to you and the rest of your glorious outfit that you have going on here. I would hate to see
So
any harm come to that."
I'm gonna stop you right there real quick. Any of you that are looking at him, as I said, he's just grossly overweight and he has all this gaudy jewelry on. But the closer you all kind of look at it, you can tell that it's all fake. It's all like faux gold and fake diamonds and stuff like that.
This
So you
fool
can tell
here.
by looking at him, he probably doesn't have any actual money. He's just trying to build up his image. Anyways, what is it you cast?
I cast suggestion, and I'm suggesting that he turn the dragon over to us to allow us to take it out of the city and get it away from his operation before the dragon gets any larger and wiser and does any damage to him or his operation.
Okay. Stormy, is your detect magic still up?
Yep.
you see the dwarf cast this spell, you see inside, like, this man, there's nothing special about him, but you see his pocket starts to glow. And as it does, you can hear him say, "Oh, I'll be glad to turn it over to you, but as I said, pay the price, or unfortunately, I'm gonna have to pass."
Junker, what do you see?
Got some sort of magic in his. He's got a ring of uh protecting of mind protection. The only impressive thing about this man, except for maybe his girth.
Where is where is that at?
Left pocket.
Is his hands in his pocket or is it just in his pocket, Ty?
He's got one hand in his pocket. His other hand is gripping a walking cane.
Is the
That,
hand that is in his pocket glowing?
yes.
I've got an offer.
Hey Ty, before he gets into that offer, has his hand been inside his pocket the whole time? Because that when you described him, you said that we could tell that everything on his person was pretty much worthless.
Yes, his hand. I'm trying to think of the movie, but essentially, it's fuck, I can't think of the movie. Anyway, picture a dude standing there, one hand on his walking cane. He uses that hand to kind of gesture and exaggerate and whatnot. The other hand's in his pocket.
Okay. And is it a ring of mind shielding that he has?
It's a ring of something.
Or could be an even worse thing. I'm just now thinking of another ring that can help against pretty much any spell. However, my offer, not a full-on trade, but something to lower the price. And he produces a large mechanical spider that's about the size of a dog. A small, like an Irish setter sized spider.
Okay.
And this is Milter.
As you produce it, he pulls his hand from his pocket, and you can totally see that he's got a ring that, as he pulls it from his pocket, it glows just a bit brighter to you. And his eyes kind of light up with want. And he goes, "And what exactly are you proposing?"
No, being as a creation, Milter is not as one of a kind as he could be, as I could have him made again. But this, so curiously powerful, that perhaps we can exchange some of that money for him, and then we haggle the rest of the money off of that dragon. Eh?
you see his head just kind of look at it, the mechanical spider, and then back to the dragon, back to you, back to the dragon, and he kind of freezes for a minute. Stock still. Not a muscle moving, not even a breath, it seems. And then he finally pipes up. How much?
Half?
You can see his eyes kind of roll up into his head as if he's thinking.
By the way,
And-
this is mostly to give you guys time to do shit.
Oh, I know. I'm waiting because I'm going after that ring.
He's thinking, and he goes, we have a deal.
Tyler, while he's distracted, I'm going for that ring.
That's on his hand.
Mm-hmm. I'm invisible.
Sleight of hand check. Because it is on his hand, at disadvantage.
But
he-
because he's invisible, that would give him advantage on the check, so it would negate it. Right?
No, because, as I was about to say, he's kind of doing the rubbing his hand thing where that you see in media all the time of the like really greedy person like rubbing his hands together like ha ha ha.
Right, but again, normally like a
Oh.
sleight of hand check or whatever like that would be an advantage when somebody's invisible.
Can I tell the intensity of the magic coming off of the ring? Is it green, blue, or purple?
I'd say it's blue.
Okay. I go to shake his hand.
He reaches out to take yours in turn.
I cast a spell magic on the ring.
I'm not even fucking rolling on that then. Fuck it.
Oh, how did I know that was coming? Okay. So you've cast a spell magic and the glow immediately just goes out.
And now that the glow is out on the ring, because he failed the save for my suggestion, he would be under my suggestion spell. Correct?
I mean, I'm gonna say no, simply because of the fact that you did cast it and you've had a couple minutes of conversation. And
But
how long does the spell last?
8 hours.
Jesus fuck.
Yeah. You ask for fuckery, we give you fuckery.
Yeah, fair enough. You can tell that the spell kind of takes hold, but his mind doesn't necessarily change.
So
But instead of his cool confidence that he was kind of like exuding into the air, you can tell it's been replaced by almost a primeval fear.
A fear of
Handed
what?
him- I hand him the mechanical spider.
He takes it, and his eyes just kind of go a little wide as he's looking at it, and he's like, "This is marvelous." He's looking at it.
I'm going to suggest that you don't press the red button on the bottom of it. It's quite dangerous.
He just kind of nods, and as he's looking at it, he looks at you. He goes, "I'll make you a deal.
Aye?
Instead of the half that we agreed upon, I'll even take off an additional 3. Just because this is such a marvelous creation. And you're the one that made this."
Over the table. When someone tells you not to push the red button, you push the red button.
No.
The thing is, for comedy's sake, I contemplated having him push the red button, and I was like, let's not.
It can always come later. But okay, so we're down to that much.
See, it was 30, you said half, that took it to 15, he took another 3, takes it to 12,000 platinum.
See, that's not too bad. That's actually doable.
120,000 gold.
That's actually really doable. Do you happen to have a stand that we can sit down and hash the last of this out at?
He gently sets the spider down on top of the cage and
It
pulls.
slowly turns and looks at him.
Oh, stop it with the porcelain doll creepy pastas. He reaches behind the cage, pulls out 2 chairs, sets one down in front of you, and says, "There. That's all I got." We never did resolve the ring thing. What was your roll?
I backed off as soon as he dispelled.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Anyways, he places the chair in front of you and says, "That's all I got," as he sits down in the other one. And you all can hear this chair just audibly creak underneath his weight.
So, invisibility only breaks if you attack or cast a spell, correct?
Yes.
Okay. That's awesome.
I'm going to let other people do things for a little bit before
While this is going on, Thorin, being invisible, has not left this vicinity,
Okay.
and he has taken the coat off and the hat off and put them in his bag. And
Gotcha.
he's watching as and I'm gonna make a roll really quick, Tyler.
Okay.
Oh yeah. So 26 on insight. I can definitely tell that this guy's demeanor's changed since the ring's gone out.
Yes.
I am going to shift while invisible, and I am going to push that fear to its limits as they're talking.
Okay.
I'm going to be behind him, still invisible, and he is going to feel every so often a very heavy breath on the back of his neck and just the slightest growl. Feral in nature, something that would make someone who's already scared not sit well. Won't make him
Okay,
think properly.
To clarify, he's not exactly afraid of your party.
No, I know. He's scared of something.
Yes.
And he can't see Thorin at all.
Correct.
So this is fucking noise and breath coming at him that he has no idea what is causing it. This is
Okay.
going to fucking psychologically fuck him.
Gotcha. Congratulations, you're gonna make the man wet his pants. But whatever.
It's all in a gains to make it to where he's not so thought driven when it comes to finalizing his deal with Junker.
Okay.
He's not
Fair
so
enough.
focused on stuff. So this gives, Junker the opportunity to maybe swindle him a little harder.
Fair.
Could we also possibly say that Junker, his swindling would be at advantage still because of even if my suggestion is minimalized, there's still a trace of it on him?
Oh yeah, no, that's easily a thing. I was actually going to say any roll Junker makes involving persuasion and or getting him to agree would be at advantage.
You say that, but you're the one who initialized it.
Say what?
Just
J-
because I'm real life charismatic, and the fact that I have a bunch of fuckery that I can deal with does not mean I'm going to roll well.
But you have advantage now. It's okay. We'll make it work. And I'm invisible. I can always swipe a coin purse if I need to.
Okay. Anybody else doing anything?
Oh, I have an idea for later on. This is gonna be funny as shit.
Oh god.
Forgot I had muted my mic.
Oh. I was like, Serby, you're awfully quiet.
So Drackery is basically looking around, scanning everyone, scanning
Okay.
the area, keeping watch just in case I see something out of the ordinary.
Okay. As Drackery is looking around, you're getting a better look at all of the slaves that are in the cages. And one seems to catch your eye as the gentleman standing next to it is wearing what looks to be a rather decent sized ruby attached to a chain around his neck. And even without detect magic or any of those kinds of spells, you can feel the aura it is radiating. And Junker, if your detect magic is still up, you have pinpointed where the strongest source of magic that you saw earlier is coming from.
Directly will walk over to that cage and start showing a bit of interest.
As you walk up to the cage, you can tell that inside the creature is a bugbear. And it's got the same collar that every other creature that is being sold at market has. The same wording etched into it. But aside from just the collar, it's got a chain attached to the collar, anchoring it inside the cage. And you can tell that this is an adult bugbear. And the moment you approach, it lashes out at you, only being stopped by the bars of the cage as it rattles and shakes as if it wants out and it wants to feed. But you yourself know that you are in no danger. The gentleman next to the cage goes, I see you've had your interest piqued by my lovely specimen here.
Maybe.
Well, for a small price of, let's say, 8,000 gold, it can be yours. Given the proper command spell, or given the proper command word, it can fight your enemies for you, protect you. Hell, it can even wash your laundry. And as he says that last sentence, you can tell this man is just absolutely full of shit.
Oh, I already knew that. As soon as he started talking, I knew he was full of shit. Nah, 8,000 is too much. And Directory turns and starts walking away.
Wait, well, we can always strike a deal. After all, in this city, money is, well, king. What would you be willing to pay? What is a good number for you? And as he's talking, the amulet around his neck kind of glows, giving his speech that kind of sultry, seductive tone.
Wait,
Hey Ty, how does his amulet glow, and how does that do anything when you said earlier that everything that we could see on him was fake?
Different person. Different person.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I didn't catch that it was a different person.
guy.
Yeah,
It's all
Serby
good,
went up
buddy.
to a different person.
Yeah, it's all good, buddy.
so
Different guy.
I for some reason I was thinking the bugbear was wearing this amulet.
Oh,
But if you're saying that the guy is wearing the amulet,
yes,
I was
the gentleman is wearing it. The bugbear is just
I was
in the
trying to
cage.
figure out what kind of slaver would leave that kind of magic on a slave.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, the guy is wearing the amulet. The bugbear is just a bugbear with a collar around its neck.
Directory looks back in at the bugbear. I'll give you 50 gold.
He shakes his head a bit. He says, 50 gold is much too low, friend. How about I lower the original price for you to, let's say, 3,000.
I'll give you 100 gold.
At this point, he's kind of getting a little
Hang on
what's the
one second.
word? You're good, buddy. What's the word?
Frustrated?
Not frustrated or flustered, but
Huffy.
And
there we go.
That was a 23 on persuasion.
As you're haggling over the price with him, he's getting kind of like huffy, and you can see visible beads of sweat starting to form on his face as the amulet starts to glow as bright as you've seen it as he's wearing it, but still very muted. But you can tell that he is straining to get this amulet to do its job. And that's about as much magic as he's gonna get out of it. And he goes, 1,500. I can't go much lower than that. I have to make a profit after all.
I'll give you 300 gold, but that's as high as I'm going.
He grunts a little bit and he is mulling the number over in his head. And he says, 800.
Jackery just turns and starts walking away.
As you're walking away, you, out of the side of your eye, catch him looking at the bugbear. And then another gentleman kind of walks up to him and whispers in his ear. And he goes, wait. I'd be taking a bit of a loss, but I need this thing off my hands. 300 it is.
All right. And Jackery will give him 300 gold.
You hand him the gold. And as you do, he says, essentially, this thing will do whatever you want it to do. All you gotta do, say the word obey. And the magic in the collar will activate. And it'll do what you want. And he then walks up to the cage, unlocks it, opens the door, says the word obey to the bugbear. And you see it become completely docile. He leads it out and hands you the chain attached to its collar. Says, have fun. That thing's more trouble than I valued it to be, so.
Obey. Kill him.
No, come on now.
At least wait till we're done with the guy and the dragon.
Oh no, this is perfect.
Okay, okay.
This is the distraction.
Good lord. As you give it its command, instead of going straight for the man who had imprisoned it, it actually swipes at a random passerby.
No, I told it to kill
Oh,
him and pointed
I
at the
know,
guy.
I know. Hold on. As it swipes at this passerby, it kind of leaves a giant gash from shoulder to hip as it turns on the man who had imprisoned it. And it just goes to town. As this is happening, screams are all around you. People are in a panic. The man that you first saw in the cage has huddled into a corner.
Were we ever given a description of the fucking merchant that we're looking for?
Nope.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I had given it to you. That's my fault.
Drakery's bugbear just killed the guy we were looking for.
No, that's the slaver who took the necklace from the person that we're looking
looking-
for.
Yep.
Anyways, description of the merchant.
The guy in the
He's
cage that we first
about-
saw.
Yeah, he's about 5'7", brown hair. Obviously human. Usually in very fine attire. Picture a 3-piece suit. And can usually be seen with a amulet around his neck.
Assuming that that 3-piece suit has become a 17-piece suit in the cage.
17-piece suit. Oh god, can you just imagine having to put that on every morning? Oi. But like I said, the bugbear just kind of goes to town. People are panicking, running around. All the slavers have decided to kind of scatter into other parts of the city, other parts of Slaver's Alley, essentially. Because where you're at right now is just the central hub. So yeah, there's your distraction. What are you doing?
As the distraction is happening off to my behind me to the left, jump to my feet as if that startled me, fly the coat open as wide as I can, and over the link, tackle him in.
Huh.
That's
Oh,
that's you,
Who
Thorin.
him? The dude you're talking to?
I'm not doing it. I'm telling Thorin to
No,
Shove
yeah,
him
no.
in?
Yes.
tackle him in so that you're in there with him. There's a bottle
Oh.
of air
Why do I need to be in there with him though? I'm confused.
so that you can make sure that he doesn't take anything from in there either.
Why don't we just kill him?
I mean, you can do that in there, and I can pull you out.
Okay, fine.
You're just gonna walk
and-
around with a dead
and-
body inside your jacket?
Not for long.
I'm sure it
Um,
wouldn't be the first time.
Fair.
goes opposite of
so
what
you
I
can
was
collect
wanting to go
the-
with that, but fine. Tackle the fat man into the coat.
Fat guy in a little coat.
Dane sees this happen, and he's like, "What the fuck just happened?"
Yeah, because all
Dane-
Dane
Dane
sees is
just
a
get-
fucking fat guy get shoved into a coat.
He doesn't even see the fat guy get shoved. He just sees the fat guy go head diving into
Oh.
the coat and then
No, because-
disappear. What the fuck?
Because as soon as the tackle starts happening, there's a werewolf that appears because that's an attack action.
Actually,
right.
Tormy, I'm not going in your fucking coat.
Oh
will
my
kill-
god.
I will kill everybody. I'm just shoving the fat guy in the coat. We can pull him out later.
Okay.
But yes, you
That
see
guy in a little coat.
as this happens and the
Literally.
big guy goes into the coat, you just see from where he was sitting, standing behind the chair, is this 7.5-foot black and silver werewolf with 2 massive black wings off of its back.
Dane pops a firebolt in his hand and gets ready to launch it.
Points at Thorin, looks to Dane, and it's friend.
Friend, no.
The werewolf turns to Dane, and like he would do if he had his hat on, he kind of tips the edge of an invisible hat and then just books it for the no. So we've got the human in the first cage matched the description.
Correct.
Dracary's dealing with the amulet situation.
Correct.
And then we've got a dragon.
Correct.
That's about to go into the coat too.
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
Along
I'm
with
heading to the
mechanical
cage
spider.
of the merchant. I figured Dane and Junker can handle the dragon. Dracary's got his shit handled. I'm going for the merchant.
Okay, so the merchant is the merchant the only other enemy in the vicinity?
Yes, because everyone
the-
else is.
The merchant's not an enemy. He's our target. He's the one we've got to rescue. He's been captured.
Okay. Enemies in the
I
vicinity
thought
then.
you were talking about the fat dude.
No, the fat guy's inside Junker's coat at the moment.
Yeah, I was thinking he was saying, was he the only enemy?
Oh, okay.
But yes, the merchant is in the cage. As you run up to this cage, you hear him just audibly scream, and you can kind of smell that he has wet himself. And you see the little puddle forming at the base.
What was the
floor.
name that you guys were given for the merchant?
Lorik.
Lorik, yeah.
Thorin crouches down next to the side of the thing, like hunches down.
So, hold on real quick. As you get there, you can tell he's, visibly upset, visibly terrified.
Mhm.
And you just hear him yell out, Weaveborn, protect me, help, save me.
You, Lorik.
Slowly turns around.
Yeah. Anyway, he goes, as you ask him that, he's like, yes, I am. Please
Don't
don't
worry.
kill me.
I'm not here to kill you. I'm here to get you out of here. This
He just
just makes
kind of-
things a little bit easier.
Still a little terrified, but he just kind of nods his head a little bit.
And I'm gonna pull my celestial blade and I'm gonna break this fucking cage.
Give me an attack roll.
We're doing nothing quiet at this moment.
fuck you,
Hey, man.
Drackery sick the bugbear on the guy. All you see is blood and body parts going all over the place.
We came in on a stealth mission.
And Drackery said, fuck the stealth. I just want someone to die.
27.
No. Technically, Dane started everything, throwing that fireball at the arrows.
Fair point.
Yeah, but that was in a tunnel. The arrows were shot out. That wasn't at somebody.
Yeah,
I would
killed
even say
myself.
throw a fucking bugbear on somebody.
That was perfect though.
What did you say you got?
27.
As you bring your blade down on these bars, your first swing hits them, and the blade kind of bounces off. So you swing again, and this time as it connects, you can feel resistance pushing back against the blade from this cage, leading you to believe it's magical in nature. But eventually, you go in for a third swing and cleave through them. And as you do, Tormy, Junker sees a large, just explosion of light as the magic in this cage is just gone. As the bars fall away.
Very, very happy that I'm wearing goggles of night in the
Right.
middle of the day, staring through magic at other magic.
Right? As the bars fall away, Lorik just kind of shakily stands to his feet. And he says, "Thank you for getting me out." But you see him lift his head just enough to show the entirety of the collar around his neck. And he says, "What are we going to do about this?"
I'm sure my friend might be able to do something about that. Let's get you over there
Almost as
and
almost as if to punctuate what you're saying, as the view turns and we see them coming out of the cage and looking over towards Junker is pulling the bad news.
Lovely.
Thorin will lead Lorik over to Junker. And then he looks to Junker and Dane. You two got this.
Aye.
He's going to kick off and fly over to Drackery to see if he needs any help. While also checking, while he's in the air, he is checking both all the points of entry in this place to see if anybody is moving in rather than moving out.
As you are doing so, you notice that there are several groups moving in towards your location. And at the head of one of the groups, you notice a man wearing a full half mask and a hood.
Does everybody see this?
No, just Fenris or Thorin because he's in the air. Because they're still a ways back,
Vantage
coming
point.
through like the main thoroughfare and everything.
Over the comms, because I'm not going to shout this out, and I know Dane doesn't have one. Over the comms, I relay that we've got company. Junker can let Dane know that, and I'll give them a direction. Also, while I'm up here, one of the things I want to quick look for is out of all these other cages and all these other creatures and races that we've come across, do I see anything familiar?
Familiar how?
Any other lycanthropes that might have been captured that are, being forced to keep their form via command or something, that are just being held to be sold?
Not that you can tell.
Okay.
And as all of this is going on, the bugbear is still just having a blast. Like
Okay.
this dude is
Stop.
long dead, but this bugbear is just eating and
Obey. Stop.
there you go. But it was as if it had some daddy issues that it needed to resolve.
Oh,
Does
Thor-
that's
Junker,
at the end of it. Hang on a second. I want to grab the amulet, grab any belt pouches, especially the one I just handed to him with my gold in it.
Okay.
And then Drakri looks back at the bugbear and says, "Obey, enjoy your meal."
Thorin lands next to Drakri. You did that? We'll get to that in a minute. We've got company.
I
Does that thing
heard.
does that thing listen to you?
I just told it to enjoy its meal. I'm planning on leaving that chowing down for whoever's coming to deal with.
I was gonna say, what if you sent it towards whoever's coming to deal with?
is all of this going on over the comms?
I'm now standing next to them, standing next to him talking. Junker is the one that decides whether or not he's going to inform you of what's going on.
Incoming from the north.
Okay.
And as he's saying that, Spitter, do your father a favor. Melt the lock.
as that's happening, Dane looks to the werewolf, holds out his hand, and says, "Here, we'll make the big bad werewolf a little bit faster." And he casts haste on Thorn.
Oh, fuck yes!
Boy.
Oh, you just turned Thorin into Biren.
Yeah.
Oh.
Just wait
The,
until Biren is level 9.
the doorway opens and out comes Biren just booking it. Oy. All right, so we'll deal with the lock on the cage. What's his name? Spitter?
Spitter is the name
spider,
of
yeah.
the cannon.
Oh,
The
okay.
Eldritch cannon that's a flamethrower, but
Gotcha.
it's shaped like
So
a spider.
it melts the lock, and the door just kind of creak and swings open.
Okay, to clarify, since you're wanting to do that, I'm casting haste on him like right before the combat starts.
So I don't waste.
Oh,
So we
no,
don't waste that time. He's casting haste on Thorin before combat, right before combat starts, so we're not wasting the time of the spell
Oh,
with
okay.
other
I see.
stuff.
I see.
So it's like a
Gotcha.
prepared action that will take place before combat.
Right. I
In
see.
hurried words to the small dragon, if you want out, and we can talk about everything else later, come chill with me. We'll get you out.
It just kind of walks out of the cage, stretches its wings a little bit, shakes, and does the little like dog wiggle thing that they do, and just kind of looks at you, and then in broken draconic again, it just goes yes, and sits at your side.
Picker, keep him safe. As the mechanical pseudo dragon that's normally curled around my neck as a giant frill uncurls and goes to hang out next to it.
Lorik, meanwhile, looks at you and says, is there a way to remove this from around my neck?
About to
You're
figure
one of
that
the-
out.
He just goes, please do, because until it is removed, I cannot leave this place.
Yes and no. Um, I take a quick look to see if it is specifically an enchantment or a physical lock that is keeping it closed.
It's both.
This is gonna take a minute. Hey Dane, can you cover?
Well, I might be able to help.
Aye?
Looking at it, since Dane is proficient in Arcana, would he be able to know whether or not the physical lock is protected by the magic, or if they're two separate components?
You can both tell just by looking at it that they're shoddily made. So whoever put the enchantment on them is a very low tier caster, but that they are in fact separate components as well, instead of the enchantment protecting the lock, which would be, smarter.
Okay, so then Dane pulls out his water skin, pours a little bit of water into the physical component of the lock, and uses shape water to freeze the water into ice to expand and break the lock.
Okay.
And then
The collar clatters to the ground, and Lorik is very thankful. And the next thing you hear is, "My amulet. We must get it back." And he turns and looks at Junker and goes, "We've born. I am sure you are the best one to find it, as it is probably most attuned to your nature."
literally just points over at his friends. I'm pretty sure they've already got it.
Excellent news. Then let's be off. We need to go.
Obey.
Thorin, go ahead. Go ahead.
Go that way, and I point north, and kill anything you see.
It looks in that direction for a minute, as if it's processing the thought and the command, and then it just bolts in that direction. And the next thing you hear is a bunch of roars and
Quick
fighting.
to the sewers.
Aye.
Thorin lands next to, or comes up to Junker and Dane, and I guess everybody's pretty much collided or come together at this point. Are we gonna do something about the collar on the dragon?
Aye.
Is it the
Let's-
same? Looking at it, is
Yep.
it the same collar that was on Lorik?
Yep.
Then Dane does the exact same thing. He pours some water into the physical component, shapes water to make it freeze and break the lock.
Okay. That collar clatters to the floor, and as it comes off, the dragon just kind of shakes its head back and forth, and then kind of stands on its hind legs and licks you.
Dane looks down in awe. I like you too.
All right, let's
Look.
head to the sewers.
Looks down to the dragon. Where we're going is going to smell a bit bad. If you want, I can keep you from having to deal with that.
It just kind of cocks its head to the side.
Pulls out uh a cinnamon stick that's just long enough that it could fit between its mouth and come out both sides. Don't chew it. And hands it to him, and it's literally just going to be one of my trinkets. It smells like cinnamon in his vicinity.
Oh, it takes it in its mouth and just looks a little confused, and then
It's better than smelling the sewers. Trust me.
all right. So you guys are headed for the sewers.
And as we exit the alley heading towards the sewer, the nearest sewer entrance that we know, because we have the map,
Right.
Thorin's just gonna give a whistle. Mocking the similar whistle that we've heard twice already.
Oh,
Is the werewolf able to whistle through his lips like that?
As they're moving into mention of sewer, Thorin shifted back.
It'd be more of a howl.
Ow.
Pretty much. No, he will shift back though before they exit the alley. That way he's not trying to deal with sewer and his height and all that bullshit.
Right.
But he will give the whistle and acknowledge the ones who've been keeping an eye on them.
Okay. As you guys enter the sewers, it's a lot cleaner than you were expecting. Still, grody and everything because it is a sewer, but a lot cleaner than expected. As you enter into them, you see that there are several branching paths that you can take. There's some going back, forward, left, right, and you can see some running water as well.
Thorin pulls out the map that they copied of the sewer lines that lead to the Thieves Guild and finds the path that leads him directly there.
So you guys head forward. As you're walking through the sewers, Dracry, as you're the one who knows it, you see several sigils written every so far. And they're just symbols of Thieves' Cant. Saying, this way for another 100 or so feet, that way for 30 feet, turn left, turn right, things like that. Eventually, you guys make it to a ladder. And looking at your map, this ladder goes up for 30 feet into what says on the map is the Thieves Guild. And as you're climbing the ladder, there is no exit.
tap on the wall.
You give the rapid series of knocks that you said was going to be your signal, and you see a portion of the wall just kind of move in towards you and then slide up. And standing there staring you in the face is the fire ganassi that you had originally met with. He just looks and he goes, did a little shopping while you were there, did you? He lets you all pile into the building.
Sorta.
5-finger discount.
By the way,
Stormy, did you
pull
leave the
fat
dead
man
guy
out.
in the sewer?
He's not
I was
dead.
gonna say. Oh, that's right. You didn't kill him.
Pull the fat guy out of my coat. Do you happen to need this man for anything?
Massive grin spreads across Genasi's face. And he goes, "Well, Lord Fat Man, we've been looking for you for a while." He just lets out a few clicks of his tongue, and then you see 3 other people come pick him up as he's
Just one
literally
moment.
crying.
Just one moment.
They stop for a sec.
A small thing. And I remove the ring from his finger. Wouldn't want it getting dirty.
I love it. I love it.
You can
Ah.
reactivate the magic in it, can't you?
Hmm?
Junker can rework the magic in it, can he?
Detect magic dispel magic only subdues the magic in an item for an hour.
Oh,
Well, that will work then,
Yeah.
because over the table, Dane can cast Identify as a ritual spell.
Awesome.
So we can figure out what the ring actually is.
After you take the ring off, you can hear him start screaming and begging to be let go, and saying things like, "I'll pay whatever you want. I'll give you my keys to the city." Da 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 da.
Your jewelry's
Making-
fake. It doesn't mean anything.
Anyways, the 3 men who are carrying him drag him off into another room, and all you hear is silence, followed by screams of pain, and then more silence. The Fire Ganassi just kind of looks at you and goes, "We've been after him for a hot minute. He sold us some faulty information."
was there a reward? A price on his head?
He looks at you and he goes, there was." And you see him walk behind the bar again. And the same bottle that was unlabeled, he pulls off the shelf and he just kind of tosses it to you. There's that. And then you'll get your coin for the Lord Fat Man once you're ready to leave our city.
We have everything we were needing.
Yep, we're headed out of the city now.
Fair enough. He walks over to a desk, opens a drawer, and pulls out a satchel. He just tosses it at you. Here's that. As agreed, we've secured a safe passage through the city for you.
Much
Best be off.
appreciated.
Hope your
Best
birds
be
on
off.
their
and
hope your
best be
birds on the perches enjoyed the show.
He chuckles and he goes, "Oh, don't worry. I did." And then he just saunters into the back.
Let's get out of here.
Yep.
Okay. Before you leave, is there anything else you would like to do?
Identify the ring.
We can do that on the ship on the way back.
No.
Is there anything you need collected before you get before we all skitter off this damnable rock?
No, there's everything that I need I carry with me at all times.
Fair enough. Look down to the dragon. Do you happen to have a name, wee one?
Just cocks his head to the side again, and then just shakes his head at you. No.
We've got some time. We've got a trip to take. Once you understand the world, we'll talk about things. But you come with us, you'll be fed, you'll be safe, and you won't be put behind bars.
It just nods.
All right.
As you guys head out, head down the street, down the main thoroughfare and everything. As you get to the docks, board the ship, and return to the kingdom of Altessi the next day. You're wandering through the city, attracting quite a few stares at the
Parade of oddities.
dog-sized dragon following at your heels, Junker. But no one is rude enough or brave enough to confront you about it. You get back to Caro's shop. You go through the back door using your key. And then you go back into the library. And as you walk in, you're greeted by the sign by the sight of dead bodies everywhere.
Fuck.
Looking around, order members lie dismembered, burned beyond recognition. When you get to the main conference room, sitting there is Alar. And he just looks and he goes, "Well, welcome back. I've been waiting. Sure are slow." Snaps his fingers and the door swings shut behind you. A sigil barring you from leaving appears on it. And he just goes, "So, see you found the merchant. Really hoping you wouldn't."
What do you want,
Yeah.
Alar?
He just kind of looks at you and goes, "Well, I want isn't necessarily what I'm going to take. I mean, I'm going to take it either way, but I personally want. And he just kind of looks at Drackery. Is in his pocket.
Drackery turns out his pockets and there's nothing in them.
Alar just kind of tilts his head to the side and goes, no matter. You may think you're able to hide it from me, but unfortunately, I'm much too old to fall for such foolish schemes. And he just kind of smiles. Then he looks to Junker and the dragon. He goes, oh, look. You found a new pet. Do enjoy it while you can. Soon you'll all be dead. But, alas, my time is up. I must be going. Thank you for your friend, by the way. And with a snap of his fingers, he just vanishes.
All right, who the fuck was that?
Long story. Does the sigil on the door disappear?
Yes.
Recently, I've been taken to calling him Captain Asshat.
I am immediately leaving the meeting room and going to look for the rest of the party.
As you're looking around,
Drackery follows you.
as you look around, everyone in your party is there, save for two.
When you say that,
Saravine,
alive?
right. Saravine is nowhere to be found. And neither is the body of Feely.
Who?
Ilias.
Oh. Oh.
His body is gone as well. And there, sitting on the table where his body was being kept, is the head of the Master of the Order. What are you doing?
Killian's head's on the table.
No, not Killian. Killian was the hooded figure. The Master of the Order. Basically, Killian's boss.
Okay. I'm going to go look for one of the two brothers and see if they're anywhere to be found among the pile of bodies.
As you're wandering around, you see a door with a magic seal on it.
I'm gonna go up to the door and fucking knock as hard as I can.
And as you do, you hear from the other side a very familiar voice calling out, try as you might, you're not getting through.
It's Thorin, open up the fucking door.
Couple minutes pass. the seal vanishes, and then the door opens, revealing Caro standing there, blood running down his arm. Killian slumped over in a chair behind him.
Alive?
Yeah, they're both alive. And Caro immediately goes, "Oh, Thorin, thank the gods."
I'm gonna place my hand against Karo's shoulder, and I'm going to heal him.
As you do that, he just kind of nods and says, "You're not strong enough to heal this wound. Only time will." And
That
you
was
just
worth a
see him
shot.
kind of rotate his shoulder just a tad. He goes, "Don't worry. It's not all that serious."
What the fuck happened?
As you can see, my father happened. He said he was looking for something, another artifact that he believes we had.
You still have the staff.
Unfortunately, no, he was able to get it before, and he groans, before we could barricade ourselves in here.
Thorin looks back to Drackery, who's been following him. Do you still have that item on you?
Yeah.
Caro just kind of raises an eyebrow and is like, "Item? What item?"
Drackery reaches into his pouch and pulls out the necklace.
Caro's
Interdimensional space, baby!
Woohoo! Caro's eyes just kind of go wide. He holds out his hand, but instead of like just taking it, he goes, "May I?"
Yeah. And Drackery will hand it to him.
He grabs the amulet. He looks at it and goes, "That was easier than I thought." And before your very eyes, everything just changes. And Alar is in front of you once again. And he goes, "Thank you for this. Vidar will be very pleased." And he disappears.
Counterspell.
Okay, what level?
I start at level 3, so I have to roll against it.
Okay, give me your roll.
Well, my Arcana versus that is a 29.
Congrats!
Okay,
Considering his teleport spell was only a 6th level, you beat him. He just goes, he just kind of looks and he goes, "Huh. Never had anyone, strong enough to keep me from doing that."
what's
I
your
hear
goal, Alar?
I hear performance issues happen when you get that hold.
Are you trying to piss him off? He just goes, "Oh, I got what I wanted." And he just holds the amulet in front of you before wrapping it around his wrist and goes, "You
I'm
have
not
any
talking
idea
about.
what it is?"
I'm not talking about the fucking amulet.
Oh?
You stood at the forefront of defense against this kind of fucking thing, and now you're working as somebody's lapdog?
Wouldn't
As he turns
necessarily
into
say
his werewolf form.
who does what.
That was a joke.
No, I
Him
didn't
calling
hear
him a
you.
lapdog. I said as Thorin turns into his werewolf form.
Oh,
The wolf calling somebody a lapdog. Nice.
right. He goes, "Oh, I wouldn't necessarily say lapdog, more like partner. For now, at least. Things change.
You
But,
obviously have. I'll have the
oh,
mighty have fallen.
oh, my sweet, sweet lichen. There are things at play here far bigger than any but maybe him, as he nods at Junker, understands. Now, are you wanting to fight me, or may I be on my way?
Looks to the others. No, can we maybe just have a nice spot of tea for a moment? Sit down. Actually hash this out with a couple of words instead of veiled threats and just leaving it before anything can be talked about.
What is there to talk about?
What
You're in
isn't
my
there?
way. I wish to leave.
What were you saying, Tormy?
I was saying, what isn't there to talk about? You've had every reason to stand against this, and you've had such a change of heart that it's not unthinkable. It's just curious. And perhaps if you talked to us, maybe we could actually understand. Maybe you'd have a few less speed bumps for you have to run over.
Tormy, give me an
Huh?
Arcana check.
Nat 20, baby. 33.
Okay. Your detect magic kind of activates on its own for just the briefest of moments. But when it does, as you're looking Alar directly in the eyes, you can see the magic leave him for all but a brief moment as it passes into you. And you suddenly have images filling your mind of why Alar is doing this. You can see his very source, his very core. and you can see its past. And when you compare the two, you can tell that where once it was a bright blue flame, it is now a black, almost colorless void. And it clicks in your mind. He's not necessarily doing this of his own volition. He's been corrupted. After that moment fades, Alar just looks at you and says, I'm not much for words these days. Now, if you care to do battle, so be it. But I'd like to be on my way. I'm needed elsewhere.
Where are our friends?
Oh, where your little cleric friend is, I couldn't tell you. She wasn't here when I arrived. As for the other one, let's just say he's gone home.
How about your sons?
Well, I imagine they're off doing whatever. I don't know. Neither were here when I arrived.
Orin looks to Junker.
Junker's hands kind of go up, palms out.
Okay. Orin steps to the side.
Pilar grins. Smart move. And he just kind of saunters past you. And as he is, he leans into Junker. And just whispers in his ear, your friend will be safe. Don't worry. His father would do nothing to harm him. In fact, he'll succeed where your lot failed. And next thing you know, he's gone. So, what are you guys doing?
See? Told you. Captain Asshat.
So are we
Captain
in the
Asshat is
conference
one way to
room?
describe him.
You are in another conference room, essentially.
Yeah, I was only asking because you said everything reverted to the way that it was before. So
Yeah. You are in another conference room, basically. But Everything around you is kind of dead. What's next?
I'm stepping out of this room. Um, and
Did we
looking
ever-
around to make sure that there's no more fucking illusions.
Did we ever get that ring identified?
Oh yeah, it was a ring of mind shielding.
Okay, so if that's the case, Ring of Mind Shielding doesn't protect somebody from suggestion.
No, I'm aware it doesn't, but I took narrative liberty.
It all worked out.
I guess. I mean, it made Serby happy, getting to unleash a bugbear on people. So
Um,
And the
You go
legend,
ahead.
and legends tell of the bugbear that just kept running north, murdering everything in its path. You've
Oh,
doomed an
did I?
entire island.
What else did I get off of that slaver?
You got your 300 gold back,
Yep.
plus 2 pouches containing one was 50 copper, and the other was 5 gold. But other than that, he didn't keep much on him. I mean, if you want, you could have picked up his daggers too. So
Give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
you're good.
okay. But yeah, they're just normal daggers. So
Nah, I'm not. I wouldn't have picked them up.
Do I spot any more illusions in this place?
nope, just dead bodies galore.
Horan is going to pace around the main chamber.
Okay.
Check something out really quick.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back.
What I miss?
I'm just pacing around the main chamber, trying to figure out what to do next.
I've got 2 pieces of research that I need to make sure that I get done before we engage in anything again.
What are that?
One, has my research into the
Tourism.
yeah, has that bore anything yet?
You are now aware of how to make it. You just need one ingredient that you can't get in most situations, and you need to figure out the method of actually making it.
The other is okay. Alar is not doing this on his own volition. He's being controlled. That I got when I stared directly into him.
Who who could control Alar though?
I
God.
Those-
I've got 3 guesses, and the first 2 don't count. So, uh, I
Vidar.
believe, I or so I need to figure out. I need to do some research into the potency of that type of thing to see if it needs to be a ritual or if it can be done on the fly. Because if it was, I wasn't going to risk it in the moment. If it was able to be done on the fly, great. If it didn't, we'd all end up dead in less than a minute.
Yeah, let's not do that.
That's why the research first. Okay.
I'm gonna go. Hearing that, I'm going to go to the office that I know Killian used,
Okay.
and I'm
You
going
get
to
there
turn
and it's empty.
empty of people. Right?
Yes, empty of people.
I'm going to turn that thing upside down, seeing if I can find anything, anything that was left behind that might be a method of contact for them.
Contacting, you mean Killian?
Killian, Caro. Yep.
You
I'll assist.
find.
I'll help you out with that.
Okay. Here is where I am definitely going to need investigation rolls. Okay.
From everybody.
Anybody who's looking.
Serby, do you have advantage on investigation?
Yes.
Okay, then I'll just roll with you then. I was going to give you advantage if you didn't have it already. Fuck. I don't know if a 21 does any good. I don't have a
Yeah,
very high.
I rolled a 23.
Okay.
31.
Jesus fuck, Serby.
Got it. All right. You all. I shouldn't say you all. Thorin and Dane don't find anything. Drackery, you find a locked, or you find a drawer that has a false bottom that's locked.
All right. Well, I. Shit. This is where I suck. I guess I'm gonna try and pick the lock
What's your bonus on yours?
on my sleight of hand.
Uh-huh.
4.
I got a
Well,
5. I could,
I
unless
can,
Dane.
I can always do the same thing that I did with the collars.
Well, but this is a friend's property, so I don't want to just break his lock. I would
Fair.
rather pick it. That way, whenever we find him and return him here, he can still hide his stuff.
Let me see your tools. I'll give it a go. Not the first time I've done it.
I mean, I know how to use them.
Oh? That's true.
And
Dunker over
well,
here.
any
Yeah,
tools that I happen to know how to use, I'm very,
I
very
didn't.
good at.
I didn't prepare enhance ability, so
Actually, let me
You
check my
you know
spell
what?
list real quick.
Why don't we let Junker do it?
That's fine. Junker,
Aye?
I'm gonna touch you on. I'm gonna place my hand on your shoulder, and I'm gonna give you guidance.
Okay.
Roll to pick the lock.
That is That is a 28.
You take these tools to this lock. Before you even do anything, you hear an audible click. And the false bottom slides open. Inside is nothing but a simple notebook.
Closes the tools up. All yours. Goes back to doing research.
Open the notebook.
As you open the notebook and start flipping through it, you find notes on your entire party. And the very last page you read simply says Caro.
Six.
And then etched underneath that is the word Weaveborn.
Jackery will show it to Thorin. Pass it over, let him flip through.
Take the book and look through it.
The same thing, notes on your party, and then the last page says Caro. Underneath it, Weaveborn.
And how detailed are these notes on our party? Like,
And
does it feel
and
like something I would have written?
They are not so in depth as to list every single one of your abilities and strengths and whatnot, but they are detailed enough that they are notes that only someone who'd been traveling with you should know.
We have lots of people that come with us everywhere, so yeah, that
and would there be notes on me?
No, there are.
Okay.
Well, are you referring to you as Dane or Philip?
Dane.
No, there are no notes on Dane.
Thorin's gonna close the book and put it in his bag.
any help?
Not particularly. But it does give me an idea. There might be somebody who can help us get in touch with Caro and them. There's another relative of theirs that we know of. We've actually gone there from here before. Did I lose everybody?
Nope.
Nah,
Nope.
still
Okay.
No.
Okay. We're
Um,
real quiet.
what time of day is it now?
when you got back, it was about midday, so it'd be about mid-afternoon.
Well, let's go back to the inn and grab a bite and
Where I'm
think
thinking
of
of
next steps.
where I'm thinking we would actually be able to supply both of that and probably a place to stay for the night. We wouldn't have to do too much traveling afterwards.
What?
Tyler,
Yeah,
we've traveled to and from different places in this library.
correct.
Would we know how to use those doorways?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you wouldn't know exactly how to use them, but you would know which doorway can lead you to which place.
I want to go to the doorway that led us to Silmaria. Because
You want to go back to the Greyheart Manor, don't you?
the only relative of Caro and Killian who might be able to get in touch with them is their nephew.
Uncle.
Oh, uncle. Yeah, that's right. Other way. Yeah. Duh.
Got it.
Which would make... Ooh, that makes him Alar's brother. Or is that like great uncle?
Uncle would be more apt. I don't remember if Thorin has really shared it with everybody, but he is aware that he is technically Alar's brother.
Okay.
Who is Alar's brother?
Elias.
Ellis.
Yeah, Ellis.
Ellis. I'm not recalling.
Ellis is the character that it is Ellis Draymond. It is the character that was introduced to us in Silmaria.
That took us to Silmaria.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Thorin overheard Caro calling him uncle, and it was funny.
2 and 2 and 2 and 2.
Yeah. I put forth that we take a trip back to Silmaria. Go pay Ellis and hang on, I've got her name written down.
Elia?
Yeah, Elia.
Poor Dane. He's just getting dragged all over the frickin' world right now.
So is this dragon that we haven't named yet?
I figured
Let's-
that would be.
Let's not name it something that starts with EL.
Yeah.
Right?
Elmer.
But
No.
I mean, with the way things are going, I mean, Ellis is Alar's brother, and Ellis is married to Elia, right?
they're not married. They're not married.
Related.
Yeah, no.
Sort
They're
of.
not related either. They're just really good friends.
Ugh.
They
I-
were roommates.
It just kind of, seems like a trend.
Um,
Alar, Ellis, Elia.
but Thorin goes back to the rest of the group. I propose we take a trip back to Silmaria. Dane, I know this isn't anything you signed on for. You're more than welcome to join us. Things are quite big at the moment. But that's ultimately a decision for you. We got you off the rock as promised. Pretty much wherever you want to go, you're free to do so.
Well,
As you saw, danger kind of is ever in front of us.
well, I'm not gonna lie. The knowledge seeker inside of me is kind of intrigued by what I have been dropped into. I don't know who this Captain Asshat is, but it seems like there's a good story to be had here. Count me in.
We're more than happy to have you. Junker,
Hey,
Zachary, Dane,
Oh, well,
something that I don't think I've shared with you all yet, but I think now's the time. We don't have a way of getting a hold of Caro and Killian, but Ellis might be able to.
Hmm.
He's their uncle.
Hmm.
I remember you mentioning that.
I wasn't sure if I had, but I wanted to put that out there. Dane, um, we will fill you in on everything that's going on. We'll do that tonight after we've got to a point where we can rest, so that you're up to speed on what we've gone through, what we've come across, the knowledge that we have. But this library is a little bit special. It allows travel to a couple other places that it's been linked to. One of those places just so happened to be where we can find Ellis and Elia.
Well, if there's a library, I'm definitely involved.
Oh,
You're in one of
there's a library.
you're technically in the center of one of the world's biggest.
So, what do you guys think?
I mean, if that's what we have to do to try and reach Caro,
We don't.
then that's what we gotta do.
I've been trying to wrap my head around another possible option. Um, Junker,
Aye.
do you want to, Alar? I don't know how much of this we can take as truth or not. Alar said that um that most of the our companions weren't here when he showed up. Do you think you could you might try to reach out to my fucking brain is shot tonight.
I mean, there's always just and you hear just a quick tapping in your head, and it's just checking if all of the taps are still active, if the creatures that are attached to those earrings are alive and on this plane.
You get responses from all but two. Do not get a response from Saravine and obviously Billy.
Okay, so they are on this plane.
And they are alive, yes.
Everybody but them are guaranteed alive and on the plane. Those two, we don't know where they are. And if they are alive, which is concerning.
Yeah. Which do you still have that bauble you created the last time?
I believe I handed that off.
Okay.
But
Then
considering it's not what he was looking for, considering that it's not what he's looking for, was looking for, give me a moment. And activates detect magic and then goes looking for the device that he made.
It
'Cause
is literally. So when you do detect magic, the room kind of goes dim. Except for a few items. And the item you're looking for is sitting at the main table that you guys usually sit at when being given your missions.
I'm back a couple of minutes later. Found it.
Who are you trying to locate?
we can either locate one of the two brothers, or see if it can pick up on Saravine. or maybe even Philly. If I don't know.
Okay. Well, here we
I
go.
would say one of the brothers.
Here we go.
So which brother?
I'm gonna say the one we're more familiar with, Caro.
Okay. As you activate your device, do you have a map in front of you?
I've got
Okay.
maps of most of the locations that we've been to.
Okay. As you activate the device, it doesn't give you a specific location, as it kind of pings off several locations.
Okay.
Triangulate.
Try Killian.
Takes a minute. Then
And those locations that it bounced off of, I'm going to mark them on the map.
Okay. One is his shop in Altessi.
Which we just passed through, so we know he's not there.
The others are Alar's Tower,
Which is dust.
Greyheart Manor, which is in Silmaria, and then one more is Ultax. Now, looking for Killian, only 2 spots ping. The place you're at, and then Silmaria.
Because that's where his shop was.
Yep.
Oh, that's right. I forgot his shop was in Silmaria.
Alright. Our best
So,
bet.
Silmaria.
Yeah. That's our best bet. And even if we don't find them there, I'm sure Ellis might have a way to contact them. Alright. Junker, is there anything you need to grab from here to bring with you?
see if I can find a couple of books on something. Uh, can we reconvene in like half an hour, an hour?
Yeah.
Thank you. He books it off towards where he had been doing research prior to this previous trip, and goes into the sections where it was the old magics and old situations that were this can change this can do that. Looking through
Okay.
those books real quick to see if he can find one of the ones that referenced what he could possibly do research on in a little bit with for what's happened to Alar.
You find 2 books. One on corruption of the soul, and another on basically mind control.
while this hour is going on, Thorin is taking the time to clean up the bodies from their scattered positions across the area, and
Okay.
kind of just finding a spot that he can lay them out properly, because I mean he obviously doesn't have a way to bury them here. Um, but just
Okay.
put them in a respectable position that they're not left the way that they were found.
Okay. Uh, while you are doing that, you actually find a letter,
Okay.
and this letter reads out as follows: Caro, the order has fallen. You know what needs to be done. I just pray to Lord Pathos that you are able to do it in time. I fear I am not long for this world, but you must rebuild the order. Our sacred duty must stand and be fulfilled. At the bottom it is signed Carius L. Draymond, Master of the Order.
I take the letter and I'm gonna put it in my pack or my bag. I'm gonna find whatever cloths that I can, whether it be their robes or, sheets or blankets, and I'm gonna cover each body.
Okay.
And then whatever time remaining after that, I'm just going to I'm gonna spend some time in silence with them all.
Fair.
Can I look for one more book?
Sure.
Something on purification.
Okay. Yeah. There are several of them.
I group them. I'm just basically trying to make sure that we get something that's gonna help.
Fair enough. As you're looking, like I said, there are several books on purification of every type. As you're reading through them, you find one that is essentially titled Purification of Ancient Magics.
And I would like to. Jackery goes back to where he knows all the investigative books are and look and see if there's anything new that he hasn't read yet.
Oh, there are dozens of books he hasn't necessarily read yet. Because, think of it as each topic kind of has its own section, and there are hundreds of books on said topic. This library you're in basically contains any book written ever.
Oh, okay, got you.
I do have one question for you, Ty.
Okay.
Um, in the process of moving these bodies and staging them in a more respectable manner, was I able to find the body and reconnect put the head back with the body?
I was like, reattach the head?
Yeah, I'm not reattaching. I just want to put the head back with the body.
Yes, you were able to.
while I'm knelt down next to them, knowing the last name of the master of this order, I am going to spend the time while everything is going on, and I am going to cast ceremony using funeral rites on the master of the order.
Okay. And that
Um,
does what again?
Funeral rites, you touch one corpse, and for the next 7 days, the target cannot become undead by any means short of a wish spell.
Got it.
Wouldn't the potion of true resurrection reattach the head and make the master alive again?
Technically. I was just waiting to see if you guys were gonna use it or not.
I mean, if you're
Who
wanting to,
who better to rebuild the order than the master? While we find Caro
I mean, that
and
is a
kill you.
point. That is a point. I didn't even think about that. I haven't been looking at my inventory. Um, no,
But the question
that
is, do we want to use it?
I mean, everybody in the party has one except for Dane, who wasn't with us when we acquired those. And Junker's currently researching on using his to research on how to recreate them.
I'm about 60% of the way figured that out. I just need one component that's impossible to find and to figure out the exact process.
60%, huh?
You know what?
We should really do this.
Yeah, I'm going to. I'm not. I'm taking back what I said about casting funeral rites. I'm gonna bring this motherfucker back.
Fair enough.
Do both.
That had been a thought that I had as soon as we saw his head sitting on the table.
So I will, instead of putting his body with all the others, I will take the body and put it up on the table where Philly was laying, and the head, and put it into position, and I will use the potion of true resurrection.
Okay. I need you to roll me a D100, please.
Oh my god. Of course you would ask for that. Alright.
Let's see what race he comes back as.
That is a 71.
Okay. As you use this potion, the room brightens ever so slightly, and you can feel a warmth return to Lucarius's body as muscle and sinew and bones stitch back together.
Would you
Fine.
mind spelling his name for me, Ty?
Are you familiar with Pokemon and Lucario?
Yeah.
It's literally Lucario with a US on the end. So it'd be like
Oh, okay.
LUCIA
A-R-I. Yeah, A-I-A. Okay.
ROUS. Yeah, Lucarius.
Okay. Thank you.
You feel a warmth return to his body, but he doesn't wake up just yet. 5 minutes pass. 10 minutes. 15. After 20 minutes have passed, he slowly opens his eyes and takes a big breath. As he sits up, he looks around, and you can see there's a sadness in his eyes as he sees the scene before him. and he turns and he sees you all standing there. Unfortunately, his speech has not returned to him just yet. But he has this look on his face of, was this your doing? Were you the ones who brought me back?
Thorin just gives a silent nod.
He returns it. And then, as if knowing your thought process, he gets off the table. He's a little wobbly, but soon regains his bearing. And he gestures for you to follow. And he leads you to a door that he opens up. And as he does, he takes one last look before waving his hand in the air, creating a sigil. As he leads you all through this door, and it closes behind you. And you are now in Greyheart Manor. I would like everyone who cares to know to roll me an Arcana check, please.
I'll go with that. I gotta roll something. 17 for me.
Anybody else?
20, 25.
Okay.
25 from the two casters.
And a 21 from the rogue.
Excellent. It was a super easy DC. As long as you got higher than 10, you were going to know. You all have been around the members of the Order long enough.
Except Dane.
Yeah, except Dane. But Dane, you know it from research. That you know the moment he made that sigil, it was a seal. You all just have the faintest knowledge in the back of your mind that the great library that you just stepped out of is no longer accessible to anyone save for Lucarius.
Well, it's a good thing I scooped a bunch of those books into my bag.
Right?
Because that's what he would have done. He would have scooped a big, like, kind of looked at each name of each one and picked a few certain ones and then just scooped a row off into his bag.
Fair enough.
Dane would have done the same, considering he is a sage.
Right. You all are now in Greyheart Manor. And as you are led into the reception hall, dining hall, whatever you want to call it, Ellis and Elia sitting. And upon seeing you, they both stand up. And Ellis just says, "Back so soon."
Wish it was under better circumstances.
Ellis takes one look at Lucarius and immediately falls silent. He then looks at each of you and says, "Well, you must be exhausted. Please sit. I'll have food brought. Take as long as you need to rest. We'll converse later.
Down to our
Ellis.
new friend. Can you also have some raw meat brought for the new one? Points at the sapphire dragon.
He nods, walks over to an attendant, speaks to them, and then off they go. Within the hour, food is brought to all of you, as well as drinks. And a nice haunch from a deer is brought in and given to you, Junker, because the attendant is kind of scared of the dragon. He was like, I'm not getting too close.
Fair enough. He's still not used to people. Hunkered down and just like place the meat reverently in front of the dragon.
It lets out a low kind of trill as it purrs, essentially, and just starts tearing into it.
You enjoy yourself. We'll have a bit of time. We can actually discuss a name for you.
And that, my friends, is where we're gonna leave it.
Okay. So are we leaving it there, or are we leaving it at like they've rested and then the next day will pick up?
They will have rested. On the next session, it will be a completely new day.
Okay. That night, I want to make this clear before we actually go ahead and end it. That night, Thorin will sit down with Dane and give him every bit of information that they've acquired, everything that they've, come to this point to get him up to speed to where he needs to be if he's going to be joining us.
Fair enough.
Sounds good.
All
So
right.
that way you actually can use the knowledge that you have, Jeb, without having to
Yes.
worry about it being metagame.
Yes, exactly.
Great. I love it. All right. Well, guys, great job tonight. To all of you watching at home, we appreciate you joining us on this adventure. If you'd like to know more of the story, keep watching and join our server, The Haven, where roleplay and we really dig into the story. With that, I am the Haven Master signing off, and may the dice be ever in your favor.
Night,
Good night.
everyone.
Night.
Right.